every child will be an adult one day. So let's be very, very careful how we handle children. Every child is one day going to be an adult. Have you hit the notification bell already and subscribe? If not, what are you waiting for? This is Just Ask Nancy, Vagabond Mama. This is my second review of Chorkor Millionaire's Tell It All interview with the Falsons. If you haven't seen the part one, please go watch it on the Falsons TV. I'll put the link below. And yeah, hit the notification bell. Subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to share this video with other people. Let me hear your opinion. Have you already seen this interview? If not, go watch it on the Falsons. I'll put the link in the description box. Go and watch it and come tell me your take from this interview. The second part, the thing that struck out to me most was the stepmom, his stepmom. You know, about the kind of deliberate sabotage that occurred between him and his stepmom. And for me, that is the one thing that stood out the most for me as a woman, as somebody who also lives with her stepchild. This is something that, yeah, stuck out really, really like heavy for me. Those who know me knows that I live with my stepchild. And he is about 23 years old. Yes, it's very strange. But he has a room here in our house, and he comes and goes as he pleases here, you know. And he was raised very, very differently from the way I am raising my kids. You know, here in Germany, so many people raise their kids in such a way that they do everything for the child. So he's somebody that when he came to live with me, we had a lot of like disagreements and understanding, nothing verbal. Like most of the disagreements, I made sure it was through his dad, not with him directly. And most because he's not my child, and I don't feel like I'm his mom, because when I first met, he was already a teenager, you understand? So I don't feel like I am going to be the right person to discipline him. So most of the time, if I have something to say, I say it to the dad, and I have my husband tell him, you know, can you please do this or do that? Because he was raised my parenting style is like, my children have to be able to do so many things for themselves, you know. You don't have to depend on me. My goal is to raise very, very independent kids. That's something that I am very intentional about, raising independent kids. So what I realized was that his parents, the way he was raised was very, very different from, and in the beginning, we did have a few disagreements, but nothing serious. And when I heard Chorkor Millionnaire talking about his stepmom and her deliberate attempt to make sure that he fails in life, that is something that stuck out for me, because Chorkor Millionnaire talks and says that he asked her, if I was your child, would you do this to me? No matter what, there's no need for you to make a child living with you feel like they are not your child. You understand? There's no need for you to, and there's no need for you to deliberately stop somebody from achieving something that you know that it's important for them, especially when they have to write exams. That isn't the time for you to overwhelm them with house chores. If it's time for that child to write an important exam or do something important in the school, that is where you need support the most. As a matter of fact, here in Germany, it is stipulated in the law that if a child has exams coming up, the parent that even if you're living with your parents, that child, you have that right to less house chores, because they need to support you and give you that opportunity for you to learn, because that is your future. The second thing that stuck out to me the most in the second part of the interview is that every child will be an adult one day. So let's be very, very careful how we handle children. Every child is one day going to be an adult. As Chorkor Millionnaire continues telling this story, he names people: his form master, his business management master, his teachers, the people who came into his life, those who helped him, those who gave him a chance, those who did not give him a chance. Let us be very, very careful how we treat people that we come into contact with, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be a villain in somebody's story. You don't want to be a villain in somebody's story. So it's very, very important that we are very careful about how we treat other people. Continuing with the interview, so there was a scuffle between him and his stepmom, and he ended up breaking his finger, and even with this broken finger, I can only imagine how it will be pulsing, all this time. He still had to go sit there and write a test, an exam, and he got an A on that exam. However, for the rest, the other teachers were not so lenient and ended up giving him an F, and that was his first F's in his life, and that was very traumatizing for him. If you were a teacher or a headmaster somewhere and you see a brilliant person in your school struggling, instead of you to become also a catalyst in his demise, today we have social media. Please come and let us all look for a way to keep pushing this child forward so that no child gets left behind. For everybody listening to me, I don't care whether you're a man or a woman and you are in a marriage with kids. No matter what, I would like to tell you, please stay. No matter what, stay. Stay, stay, stay. Unless you're being physically abused or there's some abuse present, please. Love is not the only thing that sustains a marriage. At some point, the love, the butterflies will go away. If the only reason you are leaving is that the person does not make you feel like you do before, stay for the kids. I personally, I always say this to my friends. Stay till your child is out of secondary school. Once your child is done with secondary school, you are free to go anywhere that you please. You are. But before your child is done with secondary school, please don't leave them behind. Please don't. Especially to my sisters. Because I feel like men are not wired to be maternal. A man is wired to provide. And sometimes when a man cannot provide, the shame will let him rather drink so that he's not feeling like he is not providing. He will rather drink, stay away from home, get involved in some type of vice so that he doesn't have to deal with himself, that he can't provide for his family. And this is something that our sisters don't understand. A man is hardwired to be a provider. Most men do not know how to nurture. And if you leave your husband with a stepmom and their dad, it is more than likely that your child might end up being neglected or abused, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Because people are wired to care for what is their own. You have to make a conscious effort to reach out and help somebody else. I am not going to lie. I live in this house with my stepson. If there's a fire in this house and I had to choose between him and my own kids, I am going to first grab Julia and Nikki before I would think about Sebastian. And that is not because I'm a bad person, but it's because it is how it is. That is why it's better. Even if you are leaving, if you're going to be eating gari for the rest of it, take your child with you. Go with your child and go eat that gari. I know. If you take, you're thinking, if I take the child with me, this man will not mind me, he will not send me money, but I'd rather I suffer than my children suffer. Well, so thank you for listening. Bye-bye.